Okay, hey guys, it's your girl Tay Simone back with another, another one. But no, for real, another one. Today we're gonna be talking about this is like my favorite franchise ever, but I don't know with this movie. But to all the boys I've ever loved, and we're gonna be talking about the final one in the saga. To all the boys I've ever loved. Oh my god, wait. What is it? To all the boys I've ever loved, always and forever. Ah, got it. Nailed it. If y'all don't know, To All the Boys I Ever Loved, the first movie was about Laura Jean, and she is so cute. She's a Korean high school student, and she is a huge, one of the biggest romantics ever. So she wrote these letters in, I think she was like super young, but it was basically to all the boys she had crushes on, all the ones she was feeling like liked or whatever. And her little sister, super rude, sent out the letters to all the boys. The first movie just kind of goes through. I'm not doing a recap of how the whole movies. Y'all should go watch them. They on Netflix. But the first one was basically sending all the letters to the boys and then landing on the one she liked. The second one, the one boy got a letter too late, but then was just like, I felt the same way. And so, she had to choose between the guy she chose in the first movie and then Newbie. So she stayed with the original guy. Sorry if I ruined it. But in the third one, now is she's choosing either the guy or her basically dream school. Let's just get into this because baby, I got questions that I need answers to, and I got some things to say. Let me start off by saying this. I love the way that To All the Boys I Ever Loved, all the movies are shot. I'm also like a rom-com fan, so some of like the predictable and cheesy like lines or setups, like they work for me because hi, it's a rom-com. You have a certain level of expectations with these things. Also, I just love Lana Condor. Like she is so adorable to me. She's super cute. I just want to see her in more stuff. Shout out to her. Love her. That's pretty much, I know everybody's into, what's the dude name? Noah, something or another, somebody. Um, yeah, he's just like everybody's seeing Heartthrob right now, so shout out to him. He ain't the reason I watch the movies, but shout out to him. Get your coin, sir. Yeah, so those are my positives, like it was cute, but I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like this installment of To All the Boys I've Ever Loved was boring to me, and it was like frustrating because I'm just like, okay, it's senior year, facts. So Laura Jean, one, she ain't stupid. She not stupid. Why is she acting stupid? I'm getting ahead of myself. So in this one, Laura Jean, it starts with the family trip to Seoul, Korea, where her roots are from. And they're going and they find a lock that their mother, who is deceased, left on. I don't want to call it the lock wall. I feel so bad. I've never been to Seoul, Korea, so I'm sorry. But I'm going to call it the lock wall. I promise I'll change it. I'll put something up here that gives the correct name. So basically they go and they like find the lock where it was a message to her dad, and basically it was just saying always and forever. Or maybe that's the name of the movie. And then so that was like really cute, and I just thought it was super nice to just see them, like see like where like their mom was from, just kind of like getting a sneak peek into like just what Korea looked like, because I've never been, I don't know, and I always just think it's dope to see someplace besides America. They go and she's texting. His name is Peter. That's who Noah plays, and okay, this is great. My problem started off from jump. Why are we talking about Stanford when you are in Seoul, Korea? This is your first time going. There is so much to see. There is so much to do. Why are we spending most of the time when y'all on the phone talking about Stanford? That was just like the repeated thing. Like, yes, I understand college admissions. Like, I guess maybe they were just really trying to show like that's at the forefront of her mind and that's where she wants to be, and she's not sure if she'll get it. But I just think that's crazy, and I feel like that is kind of a detriment to her character because enjoy your culture, enjoy your heritage, like, and then also too with Peter's character, why'd you sitting up here talking about Stanford? You don't want to know how Korea was. You ain't interested in that, sir. You don't want if you don't want to know if you got a souvenir, sir. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. That was one of my like first issues, and I ain't hating on Stanford. Shout out to you, Stanford. But Korea though, they get back, and long story short, she doesn't get in. I mean, clearly it really wouldn't have been a movie if she did, duh. But she doesn't get in, and so she doesn't tell Peter right away because she's trying, basically all her plans of getting married, moving in, having babies is now in the balance because it's like, oh my god, well, if we don't do this long distance because we're not gonna go to the same school, how are we gonna work? So she doesn't tell him. Her other schools are Berkeley, UCLA, and NYU because of her older sister. And so she gets into Berkeley, super excited. It's an hour away from Stanford. That's lit. You know, we could make that work. Woo woo. And one, I'm in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, girl, over like for a man, like, but you know they're young, so and it's young love, so I guess, but also for a man, okay, but you don't even want to go there for real, okay, but she eventually tells him that okay, yeah, I didn't get into Stanford. But I got into Berkeley. So they're like, okay, cool, yeah, that'll work. They find their ways. Okay, great. So then they go on a class trip to New York and they get to see NYU. And automatically, shoot, I was the same way when I went to New York. I fell in love. If it wasn't so expensive and if they had alleys, I probably would move there. But also, I live in Chicago and food is bomb. So, oh no. But I digress. She goes to New York City. She falls in love. And she's just like, this is where I'm supposed to be. She's feeling very conflicted because she's just like, dang, like New York ain't down the street from Stanford. Like NYU isn't down the street from Stanford. Whenever Peter's talking about like, yeah, we're gonna go do this in San Francisco here, in San Francisco this, and we're in the middle, and then bike rides and beaches and somebody's cookie. She's just like, NYU's cool. Like real like me. Like if you know the character of Laura Jean, she's just like, yeah, NYU could be cool. And so basically, Peter ain't like that. Peter ain't like that. She had kind of held this back, and she was really just like, should I go? Should I go? Should I go? Like, I want to go. I feel like I should go. But then if I go, I'm going to leave Peter. Here's my other problem. Girl, we don't care about Peter. This was my thing. So I had to stop thinking like a 26-year-old woman and try to think like a hopeless romantic 17-year-old high school girl who got her first boyfriend, first love. So I'm trying to sympathize, but it's just really hard because you feel me, like I don't know. I don't know. I know it shouldn't have been like an easy journey, easy decision, but I feel like the way her character was written, and they had a different writer for this movie, and you could kind of tell, no shade, but you could kind of tell, and she was just such a simp. Like, it really, really wasn't the question of, well, what do I want? It's just, how would Peter feel? And it was like that majority of the movie. And it was nauseating. I'm just like, I thought this this third installment of To All the Boys I've Ever Loved would be, it turns out I've always loved myself, like just something along them lines, and you didn't really get to see that literally until she was doing her monologue at the end. But I'm jumping ahead, let me pull back. She basically tells this to Peter, and he's disappointed, and so, but they're like, okay, it's fine, we'll make it work, all right. Then he's just like, yeah, and then you can just transfer next year to Stanford. She's like, no, I don't want to transfer. I might want to stay at NYU. Of course, this makes them even more agitated and upset. And so, but it's cool. They don't break up. They don't do none of that. It's just a lot of passive aggression. So they go to prom. I'm gonna try to save it. Let me get through this without. They go to prom, and basically Laura Jean is feeling like, oh wow, the distance is already starting. I miss him. Okay, girl. So that happens. They get back to her crib. She's just like, do you want to come inside? He's like, it's past curfew. She's like, I know. What about your dad's disappointed face? It'll be okay. So clearly, you know from jump what she owned. Like they trying to get freak nasty. So like they're like making out and woo woo. She gives them this like gift and just like just something to remember me by. And already red flag like remember you by girl what's up. And then so they start like making out and Laura Jean is initiating sex. And so Peter's like, wait a minute, hold up. Like, you sure you want to do this? Yeah, let's go, Pete. Okay. You sure you want to do this? Yeah, what's the problem? Basically, this is where it kind of all gets revealed. Not in the way I would have hoped, but, a little bit. And he was just like, why now? Why prom night? And she was like, I want to feel close to you. And basically, he kind of just goes from, so you're just doing this because you feel like you want to be close? Like basically, he wasn't satisfied with her answer. And he was just like, that's crazy. So you're basically ending this. Like you're not trying to really give us a fighting chance. Like you gave this to me and said something to remember you by, and now you're just trying to do this. It's like a last attempt to try to make them work. I don't know. Got upset and he kind of just like, we just gonna end this now, period. Ain't no point. And he left. And what I feel was a missed opportunity with that, we'll get on prom in a minute, but what I feel was a missed opportunity with that was, it was that LJ had, Laura Jean, had the chance to kind of, I feel like, especially with this being the last movie, and she's like kind of growing into herself more, this would have been an opportunity for her to just be like, this is just something I want. Like she was just like, yes, I'm scared. Like just kind of just be vulnerable. And I feel like that even would have just boosted like her character and stopped having her be so meek. The ending would have been more satisfying if she had been able to really just clearly lay out like, I'm scared. Like, I'm scared, my Negro. Like, even though he's not black, but I'm scared. Like, I don't know what this means for us. Like, I love you, but like, I want to start being on my own. And it's like they hinted at that. She was like going in that direction, but then it just stopped. And I'm like, okay, I know that's like normally her character, but again, it's a point when people speak up. And I feel like that was a moment to do it and really just for her to express her feelings. And that opportunity was missed. Bloop, right over the head. And I was disappointed with that. They're broken up. The wedding comes. They have the wedding. Dad's very happy. Kitty's in a tux. Kitty's her little sister. I don't got no issue with nobody wearing no tux. I don't care. But I just felt like that was just kind of thrown in there for the sake of being thrown in there. And there was like really no like reasoning. The same with her having a crush. And it was like it was like a Korean boy she saw in Korea. And they were just like, oh, she's like boys now. Like, and then that was it. It's like, it was just a lot of so what's like in this movie. And I felt like stuff could have just been more intentional. I don't know what the purpose was. I really don't. I really truly don't. But again, I digress. It's hair on my mouth. I'm trying to get it. The wedding happens, and then again, that was something that was quick. like just another missed opportunity to really kind of build some of that rom-com drama that we know and love, and that you kind of got from the first two movies. And again, it was like a missed opportunity. And so the sisters go in the house. Dan is dad, and his new wife, they go off and they are on the honeymoon. So the sisters are in the crib. The older sister, Margot, is just like, all right, well, I'm sorry y'all broke up. I said I wasn't here. It'll be okay. She off to bed. Well, then Kitty is just like, hey, you left something in the backyard or whatever. You should go get it. She's like, Laura Jean ain't trying to hear. She's like, yeah, whatever. And then Kitty's just like, no, really, you should go get it tonight. So clearly, we all know Peter back there. Peter back there doing something. All right. So we go, and they wrote in the yearbook, because it was a whole thing about, like, write something in my yearbook. He was like, write me an OG love letter. She was just like, write me just something cute. He basically wrote the letter like, always and forever, I'll be yours, and we'll make this work. He showed up behind her. They kiss with a beautiful backdrop, and that's that. It was all very underwhelming. And I think that it was because the stakes were played so low. Everybody's breakup is different, but I just feel like this was like, it's a movie, bro. You feel me? Like, and I just feel like because it was really no big stake, it was just like, so what? Like, the telling of that was kind of just really okay, and so what? And when they reunited, it was just like, okay, you knew it was going to happen, but it was just like, okay, so what? I wasn't feeling it. I was just like, so, like, just so what? Like, it just, none of it just kind of crumbled for me. Really just have them kind of butt heads, it would have been more satisfaction. And because it wasn't that, I wasn't really satisfied. Laura Jean, she moved in, cut her hair. She moved in to NYU dorm. Peter's seen driving down the coast to his school. And again, so what? Like, I didn't care. Like, I didn't care. It's just the way everything was set up. It really made you, like, not care. And I hated that because I fell in love with these characters, and I continued to watch because I cared. I wanted to see their growth. I wanted to see their development. I wanted to see the stakes. I wanted to know what was going to happen. Like, even though you had an idea what was going to happen, sometimes they would surprise you. And with this one, it was not. It was very predictable. It was very underwhelming. So now I could really dig deep and throw some shade because, one, let's talk about this Emily Nussbaum. Who is Emily Nussbaum, you might ask? Exactly. Oh, we don't know. She was, I don't know if, like, they probably intentionally made her black, just like, hey, we got a black woman here. Shout out for diversity. Y'all see the color? Like, to me, I would have, she just could have been white for all I cared. Like, I felt like they just did that just to say, like, we have black people in movies too. Like, I'm not trying to make it about black people because I know it wasn't the movie about that, but my God, like, if you're gonna have a black character, like, don't just use them as props. The same way I felt about with Lucas, and that is, I think that was one of her crushes who turned out to be homosexual. What I didn't like was that whenever he would show up on screen, it was to kind of be like Laura Jean's reassurance, or it's for some like sassy, like little quick wit. And it was irritating. I'm like, because like when it came for the wedding, he wasn't nowhere in sight. When it came to prom, you know, like she had her friend there and he had his friend there. How come Lucas wasn't there? You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, at graduation, yeah, they like call his name, but it's just like, I low-key didn't forgot about him. Like, okay. And I just don't like that. I feel like the black characters were used as props. I didn't care for it. At all. I'm like, if this is your friend and this is your friend, if y'all are close and y'all are close, and then he should be there, and not just to give some stereotypical gay response or comment. Like, we're over that. We have moved on as a people. I will say though that seeing Ross Butler is always beautiful and refreshing and delicious. Glad he was there. Hated he was there for such a short period of time, like just these short intervals with him, but he was there, so that was great. That was fine. So I give the movie an 8 out of 10 simply because Ross Butler was there. Let's talk about Peter. I felt like this was the Peter show. I felt like it was less about Laura Jean kind of growing into her own and more about Peter and trying to preserve his feelings and getting his opinions and just kind of making him the star. And I was just irritated by that. Like, it was like a storyline with his dad, and I'm like, well, no shade, but there was a whole scene in there with him talking in the diner with his dad. And respectfully, I don't care. I would have rather seen stuff of the wedding and just seeing how Laura Jean, like, who's this hopeless romantic, watching her dad, you know, marry, like, a love in his life, like a new love. And, you know, Laura Jean maybe going off of that, just like, maybe, you know, you can find someone new. Or, like, I really wish Peter, like, was here. Or, like, you know, what am I supposed to do? Or, like, this is, you know, Dad's day, and if he can do it, I can do it. Just something like that. The reason that they put maybe that diner scene in there, I ain't the writer. But the only reason I could think of it in there is because the dad was just like, you know, if you love someone, you try. And, okay, bet. But y'all didn't need a whole diner scene to do that. Like, for what? For what? I felt like this was like a coming of age piece. Like that's how like this thing kind of really got started. It just skipped over like a lot of, I don't know, I feel like some important events like prom was skipped over. That's a big deal. Oh, it's prom. And I felt like it was rushed. I thought this was also another opportunity to kind of build some more tension between Peter and Laura Jean, and it just was very lackluster. Um that's when we found out who Emily Nesbaum was, because child, we didn't know. Or I don't even know if that's her name no more because don't know, we don't know. Also, the prom looked whack. I was really disappointed because I feel like it diminished Laura Jean's character a little bit, and it was nothing but like montages. Like, New York is beautiful, New York is dope, like it's amazing, but I felt like I was watching a travel vlog. Then with New York, like I understand, like seeing the city you fall in love, but it was so daggone long, bro. I'm like, oh my god, like what am I watching? Am I watching the Travel Channel or am I watching The Otherwise Ever Loved? Like, somebody make it make sense to me. I was sad. Laura Jean deserved better. To All the Boys I Ever Loved deserved better. And that's what I'm sticking to. I found myself bored. I hated that because with the first two, I did not. Like, I was like, this is so cute. I was crying. I was just like, Laura Jean, no. I had more emotions. I was more invested as a viewer. With this one, just because of how everything's set up and the story structure, I was just like, I don't even care no more. I could care less. We saw more of, I think her name was Chris. Am I lying? Probably. We gonna call her Chris. That's her best friend. And again, I didn't care. The only reason I'm excited to see you is because Ross Butler is there. Otherwise, I was just like, girl, you can. I just didn't care. I didn't care for the movie. I want my time back. I want them to do a redo because I wasn't satisfied. Again, I'm disappointed. The only reason I give it an 8 out of 10, and that's being incredibly generous, is because of Ross Butler. And that's it. That's all I gotta say. To all the boys I ever loved, Laura Jean, we don't love these hoes. I'm saying that and I got a fiance. All right, y'all. So this was review number 2. And if you liked it, you feel me, like, comment, subscribe. If you have some more recommendations, please recommend me like movies. Like, I love watching and reviewing them. They can be definitely be foreign films. Like, I love Korean romances and thrillers and horror. I just love Korean movies, period. Let me shut up. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.